It all began in the desert, where a lone child stumbled along, gnawing on a human finger, searching for his mother. A few miles away, a man drove down a road that abruptly ended in the middle of the wasteland. The man, named Wyndham, was a photographer who had come to capture a solar eclipse. After taking several photographs and noticing the day nearing its end, he tried to return to his car, only to encounter a lost and frightened boy. Although Wyndham was ready to help, the boy didn't seem to want it. He simply pointed toward the place where he claimed to have lost his parents and began walking away. Wyndham, attempting to help, followed him. But the boy rudely refused any assistance and left. Alone and stranded in the darkness, Wyndham found no way back to civilization. Unable to sleep, he lay down on the ground, reliving the day's events. Suddenly, strange sounds disturbed him. Following the noise, he discovered stakes with ropes strung between them, from which hung bottles that produced a melodious chime. Before him stretched a large canyon. At its bottom stood a wooden house, and a woman wandered around it singing. He called out for help, but the woman ignored him and entered the house. Wyndham found an iron ladder that led down the canyon wall. Halfway down, it transitioned into a rope ladder, which he braved with difficulty. At the house, he knocked persistently, but there was no answer. Eventually, he opened the door himself. The woman, Alina, greeted him calmly, as if she had been expecting him. She offered him dinner. Though he initially refused, she served him soup and placed it on the table. Grateful, Wyndham asked her how he might leave the canyon. He spoke of the boy and asked for water. Alina suggested he rest until morning, and he gratefully accepted. She showed him a bed and began tidying herself, revealing that she was young and beautiful. The next morning, Wyndham gathered his things and went outside, hoping to find the rope ladder again, but it was gone. Without it, he couldn't reach the iron section above. He returned to the house and took out his camera, photographing the grim surroundings and the drawings on the canyon walls, which all seemed to evoke death. He noticed Alina repairing the roof and asked her about the missing ladder. She either didn't understand or pretended not to, and though her words implied that others lived nearby, she revealed nothing. Disappointed, Wyndham wandered the canyon, periodically shouting for help, but there was no response. Later, Alina asked him to undress so she could wash his clothes, saying it wouldn't be proper for him to return home in such a dirty state. With no choice, Wyndham complied. That night, still sleepless, he went outside once more to find a way out, but again, there was none. In the morning, he found a hammer in the house and tried to scale the canyon wall. Suddenly, something moved above, and a chicken carcass fell, startling him. He slipped and fell, injuring his leg with the hammer. Wyndham regained consciousness in pain. Alina rushed to help but didn't answer his questions about the children he thought he saw on the cliff. For several days he drifted in and out of fever, uncertain whether the children he saw were real. Eventually he recovered enough to limp around. He demanded Alina ask the children above to pull him up, but she pretended not to understand. She offered him care and a future together, but Wyndham refused. He only wanted to return to his work and life. He examined his leg and realized full recovery would take time. Suddenly he heard voices above. The boy had returned, now holding a little girl's hand. They cheerfully asked how they could help. When Wyndham explained he wanted to climb out, the boy promised to bring a winch and ropes. Before leaving, the boy asked an odd question, Wyndham's favorite color. Wyndham replied red and begged them to hurry. Soon, a rope fell from above. The boy instructed Wyndham to tie himself securely. Wyndham did so, and they began pulling him up. But halfway, the rope stopped. Wyndham screamed, then tried to climb, but lacked the strength. He hung helplessly under the merciless sun. He regained consciousness, soaked by water. Looking up, he saw the boy spraying him with a hose, laughing. Other children appeared, ranging in age, all dressed in clothes taken from other people. They mocked Wyndham, swinging the rope so he slammed into the canyon wall. In desperation, he called out to Alina. She shouted at the children in anger, but Wyndham blacked out after one final blow. That night, he awoke in bed. He tried to get up, but Alina questioned where he thought he was going. She explained that the children were homeless survivors, gathering in the desert and living however they could. As they spoke, neither of them noticed the children on the cliff, watching as flames reflected in the house's windows. The next day, Wyndham watched Alina release a bird. He envied its freedom. She brought him fresh clothes from somewhere. Touched by her care, he accepted them. Time passed. Wyndham planted a garden. Occasionally, the children brought supplies, food, drinks, even though no stores existed nearby. Their behavior puzzled him. They mocked, yet they helped. Alina accepted it all without question. Wyndham gradually became more involved in the household. He marveled at Alina's quiet strength. One night he tried to question her, but their conversation was interrupted by shouts from outside. Alina warned him not to go out when the children behaved that way. Wyndham ignored her and went out, where he found the boys dressed in bizarre outfits. They pushed and beat him before vanishing into the night. He demanded answers. Who were these children? Why did they live here? Why did she stay in such a place? Alina remained calm, denying that she was a prisoner. Later that night, she came to him. Starved for intimacy, Wyndham welcomed her. As more time passed, Wyndham's garden sprouted. One day, the boy in the cap called down, offering to bring soda. Wyndham returned to his plants and unearthed a wedding ring and car keys buried in the sand. That evening, Alina showed him a portrait, calling it the first mother. She then revealed that she was pregnant with Wyndham's child. Stunned, Wyndham yelled. He hadn't wanted a child, not like this, not with a woman he barely knew. But there was no choice. He was trapped. The next morning, he found his garden ruined by birds. Alina helped him replant it, and he was touched again by her compassion. Life settled into a strange rhythm. Wyndham exercised his injured leg. One day, the boy in the cap visited again, full of curiosity. Wyndham asked him to bring a rope and a counterweight. He planned to escape and take Alina and the boy with him to the city. The boy agreed, but was later dragged away by an older child. Wyndham later told Alina the boy was different, smart, and yearning for more. He wanted to help both of them. Alina, puzzled, asked what Wyndham lacked here. He answered, freedom. But Alina didn't understand. No one forbade him anything. Wasn't that freedom? Wyndham spoke of the outside world, the ocean, and a cheeseburger. Alina had never heard of one. He explained. She said her mother used to warn that mirages lived outside, but in the desert everything was real. Wyndham showed her photos from his camera, images from the day he got lost. What impressed her wasn't the eclipse, but a picture of Wyndham in his car with music playing. That night, Wyndham had nightmares of the children's mocking faces. In the morning, he heard Alina screaming. He rushed out and saw the boy in the cap crucified on wires over the canyon. The other children laughed from above. Alina declared that brothers wouldn't do such a thing. She accused Wyndham of killing her son and struck him with a board. When he awoke, Wyndham was in a cage. Despite his pleas, Alina refused to free him. She fed him like an animal while her children watched. One day, he saw a girl on the cliff, clearly not from here. He whispered, begging for help. She understood and promised to return. But later, Wyndham saw the children drag her to the cliff and kill her. Time passed. Wyndham remained in the cage, witnessing unnatural rituals performed by Alina, her children, and her brothers. Eventually, he told Alina he wanted to stay forever, raise the child, love her, and make her his queen. But when he used the word choice, Alina laughed. He had never had one. He was just a seed blown in by the wind. The child was hers, and he would remain in the cage until the birth. Nothing in the desert went to waste. Finally, the birth began during the next eclipse. Alina cried out in agony. She released Wyndham, begging for help. He assisted her. The children stood above watching. A ladder descended from the cliff, but Wyndham stayed. The child, a girl, was born. He kissed her, overjoyed. Alina begged for the baby and, receiving her, promised to protect and raise her as the next mother. Wyndham had fulfilled his purpose. Then the boy sneaked up and slit Wyndham's throat, declaring it was for the mother. Later, Alina packed Wyndham's belongings into a chest and whispered to the baby that everything would be fine. Meanwhile, Wyndham's body decomposed in the yard, grass growing from it as it turned to dust. And so this strange, haunting tale came to an end. What did you think? Did the ending surprise you, or were you expecting it all along? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next movie breakdown. Want more? Check out our recap of similar movie right here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.